What this business is and what happens and why we do it is we live for opening night.
Opening night is exhilarating, terrifying, and extremely rewarding.
Every new show is a year at least in the making. So when we finally get to opening night and we have an arena packed with families, it's the most exciting thing in the world.
It's the final release and the culmination of a year's worth of work.
We have worked so hard to create the material that is now going to be presented for the first time in front of a live audience. And my heart is in every single performer that's out there.
What's going to work? What isn't exactly going to work? We're going a lot on gut instinct, obviously a lot of experience, but we really don't know.
This tour is going out for 2 years, and tonight the public is seeing it for the first time. How are they going to react?
It's amazing what a live audience does. It almost fixes everything. All the hard work, it's paid off. It pays off when the audience is there and everybody here knows it. Well, creating the greatest show on earth is like creating the perfect dish. So when we hire the creative team, these are all key ingredients in order to make the perfect, most spectacular dish possible.
When I first got the call from the Felds to direct Ringling Bros and Barnum Bailey, I was actually in rehearsal for another show. I was so excited and scared. It didn't really sink in about how big this responsibility would be.
Well, Rye is so hip and he's so fresh and he's like a giant overgrown kid. And that's essential to what we do because he brings that kind of whimsicality and that kid-like spirit and energy to the production.
Every year we want to do something different, and we really task ourselves and our creative teams to think differently and to do something that we haven't done before. So picking a theme for the show is key.
And so I sat for a couple days and just went over everything that I loved and then came up with a couple concepts and was lucky enough to, at the end of the day, have them all coexist in one universe called Built to Amaze.
I think one of the most important elements to our production process is something we call the white model meeting. And literally what the white model meeting is it's a presentation of the entire show in 1-inch white model scale.
For me, it's actually one of my favorite parts of doing the circus because the creative team comes in front of the entire company of Ringling Brothers and Barnum Bailey and has to pitch the show to everybody and basically reveal all the designs for the show and just hope that things get approved.
And this presentation was fun because I was able to actually put on a live performance for the white model, which I had heard had never been done before.
And all of a sudden you're seeing the show come to life for the first time, and it's pretty exciting.
The 6 weeks of rehearsal of Ringling Brothers Barnum Bailey every year is the most exciting time of the year for me. It's when everything that you've worked, planned for a year or sometimes a year and a half comes to fruition, and you've got to make it happen.
It's non-stop rehearsal for over 6 weeks, and it's the only thing we can do to put the show up in that amount of time. So it is literally one of the most challenging experiences of a director's life, because all you're doing is sitting there going, I need more time, I need more time, I need more time. You're not gonna get it. So you literally have to figure out how to solve all these problems with all these people, with all these languages, and you have to figure out how to do this in the amount of time and do it well, still keep your cool, and still be the leader.
I always say, literally, the train keeps moving without you, so you either need to get on board or step off. This train keeps going.
It's a marathon run, but the payoff is brilliant. I mean, there aren't that many jobs like this in the country. This one, you get to design a fantasy world.
Every single day we're getting the opportunity to create and think in a unique and entertaining way.
Every day you see progress. So every day you get a little bit closer to what the show is going to be.
I mean, the theme very much lends itself to to what we are doing now in rehearsals, we are literally building a circus.
Every night after the day's rehearsals, we have a production meeting with the entire creative team as well as the production staff and all the department heads from the show.
Everybody asks their questions or gives their notes or concerns from the day. What's really good about the production meetings is that we are all on the same team. We're all in this room to create the best show possible.
I've been involved in hundreds of productions, and the producers are always pretty heavily involved. But I've worked on productions where producers just want to be hands-on for the sake of being hands-on, and they actually are more of a hindrance than a help. But I've worked with Felds on so many shows, and I honestly couldn't do it without them.
It can be such a blessing to have producers that are so involved in the process, because one thing I love about the Felds is they're very clear on what it is they want and what their audience likes.
Their experience in the world of circus is so deep. Nicole and Alana have been here since their birth. So the only thing they can bring to the table is more experience and more knowledge of things that I don't know about.
When they tell you their opinion, if you listen to it carefully, you understand how they're shaping their product. They're more like movie producers. They are involved in every facet of the production. They also know that a change takes a certain amount of time, takes a certain amount of money, takes a certain amount of everyone being flexible to do it. You sort of lay it all out, you figure out how you're going to do it, what the costs are, you implement it, and they are smart enough to know that it's going to take some time. I like them. I really do.
I will say the most incredible group of people are our circus performers. They are so dedicated. And they are just so unbelievably talented in what they do. You know, no one here is in this for the money. They do this because they actually love what they do, and they love that reaction from the audience.
One thing that I think that the performers have is integrity. They take pride in what it is that they do. They come with an open mind and an open spirit to allow me to mold them into things they've probably never done before, whether it be dance, whether it be partnering with someone from another culture, whether it be trying a movement that may not work, but at least they're open to trying. And that's important to me as a choreographer, is that I at least have their 100% and them trusting me that I'm gonna make them look their best on stage and for the audience.
One of the things that I love about Built to Amaze is the King Charles Troupe. When my father acquired Ringling Brothers Barnum Bailey in 1968, there were no African-American acts, no African-American performers. They became the first African-American act on Ringling Brothers Barnum Bailey in 1969. So to bring the King Charles Troupe back to a whole new generation of circus goers is something extraordinary. And they deliver a real energy and excitement that you can't see anyplace else but here at the greatest show on earth.
It's unbelievable what these people can do. I mean, the fact that Tabayara has the courage to enter a cage with 18 tigers, let alone one tiger. Who enters a cage with a tiger? And this man enters them with 18. Working with Andre McLean has been amazing. I've actually known Andre for a very long time, and I've known him as a horseman and as a pre-show host and as an MC. And to actually give him the opportunity to be a ringmaster has been great. The ringmaster actually dates back over 100 years, and what it was originally was a man on horseback in a tux and tails that would lead the Liberty horses in an act. And for the first time, we're bringing back a ringmaster that actually rides a horse. And so we use that a lot in the show to really bring back that tradition, bring back some real old school stuff in a contemporary way.
We are so pleased to have brought Alex and Irina from Russia to make their American debut here at Ringling Brothers Barnum Bailey Built to Amaze. They are funny, they move, they dance, they work with animals, they have big, great ideas, and they're so smart and so talented that it's just been a delight working with them on the entire creative process so that we could sculpt and mold a show around their personalities.
Other acts in the show that inspire so much awe in me are people like the Negre troupe. These guys are war horses. They are Olympic-trained athletes. And just to watch them do what they do, and they have so much pride in their work, it's inspiring. And then you take someone like Eliana, who is the youngest female human cannonball in the world, and this is a young girl who's in a cannon and shoots herself across an arena. The danger involved in these acts is unreal. I mean, like Dima and Nadia, who are one of our aerial display, they do an iron jaw act where he literally has his wife hanging from his mouth while they do aerial tricks. These are the real deal. These are people whose circus is in their blood. They know exactly what to do, they know their role, and they know that they have to get it done no matter what, because the show must go on.
All right, guys, here we go. Let's get this party started.
Built to Amaze takes your breath away. It is a riot of color and spectacle and sparkle.
The action, the excitement just holds you, and I think it takes you to a high level throughout the show, and it never lets up.
Built to Amaze is going to show audiences across the country the most inspiring acts that you've ever seen around the world, the most awesome costumes, the most thrilling lighting, the most amazing things in a circus that you've ever seen.
Build this circus.